I really want to start to break it down because there's different forms of fasting that's out there. There's intermittent fasting. Which, typically is less than 48 hours, and different forms of that. Time restricted eating, where you restrict only your eating period, sometimes 6 to 10 to 12 hours. Then we've got alternate day fasting, where you eat a day, fast a day. Then there's things like 5-2, where you eat, 5 days a week normally, and you would fast for 2 days. But all those fasting periods are less than 48 hours. Then we've got, when we go in for the prolonged fasting, longer than that. So it seems that fasting is different and the benefits are different depending on how long you fast. Is that correct? And would you be able to walk through maybe sort of like hour by hour, kind of what happens, during the early days of fast, and what tends to build up when you go into these prolonged fasts?
Right. So for those of you listeners that probably are tuned to the fact that there are different exercises, right? Different types of exercises. Yes, you're all moving your body, but hey, aerobic type of exercise is very different than the resistant exercises. It has a different impacts on the body. So I would say that fasting does something like that as well. And so by definition, the shorter fast, these are the intermittent fasts, what you have mentioned earlier, right? Generally less than 2 days, and generally they're not consecutive days of fasting. They are great for weight loss. They're great for supporting your metabolism, right? And because it's like you're vacuuming your floor on the weekends, right? You're doing some simple wiping of the table, which is very different than, let's say, spring comes around and we have to do spring cleaning. What do? We do a lot more in depth. It takes a lot more time. We're shampooing the carpet, we're taking down the curtains, right? Those are what really, on an extent level, much deeper, interventions. So those long fasts, typically fasting less than more than 2 days, they have a much deeper level. So when we are talking about these cellular effects, right, the impacts on the cells beyond the weight loss, when we're talking about the longevity benefits of fasting, we're really talking about these prolonged fasts. Some people call them prolonged fasting, some people call them periodic fasting. The impact of those fasting are distinctly different than the shorter fast.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Thrive State podcast. And if this podcast is bringing a lot of value to you, if you find that your life is just improving with this podcast, that your life is getting to the next level, please consider supporting it. And here's a few ways you can do so. You can do so by liking this video and commenting on this video, and also sharing this video with your friends and family. Another thing you can do is go to ratethispodcast.com/ThriveState. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review there. It will really, really help this show grow. And this will give me more time so that I could actually give more content to you, just like you got in this episode. And if you haven't already picked up a copy of my book, Thrive State, Your Blueprint for Optimal Health, Longevity, and Peak Performance, you can pick it up now. It became a #1 new release in longevity. Go to thrivestatebook.com. And if you enjoy the book, please consider leaving us a review as well. And the last thing you can do, if you're liking everything here and you want to work more closely with me as well as my team to get you into the Thrive State, go to kienvu.com/accelerator and consider joining the home course, the Thrive State Accelerator. It's really the course that I use. It's the concepts that I use personally when I work with CEOs, celebrities, and my high-profile clients to get them to the Thrive State. Again, the Thrive State Accelerator at kienvu.com/accelerator. And because you're a listener of this podcast, I want you to save 25% by using the coupon code podcast25. I hope we continue to give value to you. And remember always, you are your best medicine.